We're gonna stick with the Jets here. Kwasi, explain to me why a Giants legend is gonna play for the other team.
So for me, obviously we know, and everyone else over here, we know this generation that we're in. OBJ is going to go back to MetLife Stadium. Will
Who?
it be with the Giants? Will it be with the Jets? Only time will tell. My thinking is though, the Jets probably need him more because we were just talking about wide receiver too. They just like Josh Reynolds. It's like okay, like obviously like, there's like, the connection there from the Lions and stuff like that, but it's like even then, it's just like, is that really what you want? Like is Josh Reynolds going to take you to 9 wins, Vijay? Is that the plan here? It's like I'm not really too sure. It's like for me, I think that if you're going to go out and get a wide receiver too, like they could always try trading for one. I don't think Terry McLaurin is smart right now. Like the Jets are, I think they should be done trying to give up like a bunch of picks and a bunch of things to try to go trade for like these like unsettled, unhappy, like not even just receivers, just like people. Like whether it was Bell, whether it was Adams, like you just don't want to be, you don't want to keep on doing that because all you're doing is one, giving them what they want, and I feel like every time that happens, like they're on the decline in some way, shape, or form. It's not really the best way to go. So I think that being able to trade for someone younger would be good, but also like you just got to look out and who's available in the free agency market. Even just like going into the season, if you just pick up OBJ, that's a solid wide receiver too. Solid, like not like amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he's gonna bring back like him being back at MetLife is gonna bring back Giants OBJ. Like he's gonna play like he's like 27 years old again. But at the end of the day, like being able to like, have that guy to be there and just like take the pressure off of Garrett Wilson, it's gonna do wonders. I think if that happens and they get a solid wide receiver too, then maybe I could start to hear the 9 and 8 talks, and then maybe I'll be able to hear all these other things that you're talking about. For the time being, though, it's like if you don't have that, I don't see it. OBJ to the Jets is probably the best. Like I'm not sure about the wide receiver market right now. I'm not sure who's in free agency still, but of all the options out there, not only is it probably the biggest name, not only will it sell jerseys, but he's going to try. He's going to be able to go out there, be back in his, I don't want to say home stadium, but you know what I mean? They share, like, he's going to be back at MetLife. He's going to be like, oh, like he said it in the past, I love playing here. I love the New York, New Jersey, whatever. I love the fans that are over there. Like, I just love being able to play in the stadium again. I have a lot of good memories. Like, he should be able to go back there and he will give his best effort. And I think for the Jets, that's all you could really ask for right now. Because at the end of the day, if you have Garrett Wilson on an island being guarded by like two people, doubled every single time, how is Justin Fields going to be able to do what he does? You're going to be relying on big plays from people that are not big play players. And then you're going to be able, like I don't like the run, like it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Kwasi, I thought we were becoming friends. Now you're going to make me defend Josh Reynolds. Just when I thought we were becoming friends, I got to defend Josh Reynolds on a beautiful Saturday on August 23rd. I don't think OBJ plays in the league this year, much, let alone on the Jets. I mean, if we're sticking on the Jets, yes, he would probably, drop him off at training camp. Today he's the second best receiver off the bus, off the train, off the plane. Yes. Do I think he plays this year at all? No. I think he's probably beyond washed up unless a playoff team is going to pick him up down the line and there's an injury to a playoff team. I could, it's happened before. That's how he ended up on the Rams. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And ended up becoming a Super Bowl champion, although he didn't finish that game he has a ring. Yeah. And am I defending Josh Reynolds? No. Would I rather take my chances with Garrett Wilson and a mixture of Breece Hall and Mason Taylor, even dare I say, with, an Alan Lazard touchdown and drop every game, if he even makes the team, over the headache that comes along with OBJ, the press that'll still come along with OBJ, and, with the production not there to back it up anymore. Crazy as it sounds, and, as crazy as my 9 and 8 take may have sounded, I would take the latter. I would take Josh Reynolds and the misfit of toys and try to do some magic and Houdini-ness with Breece Hall, Mason Taylor, and whoever else on that team, then even consider OBJ. Do we even know if he wants to play football anymore? Is that
There
something?
are like he made a statement recently saying like I'm not done yet. I'm still like playing football, and then like there's rumors now that like from Bleacher Report saying that like teams are reaching out, seeing like what his fitness is like, seeing what is going on with him. So there's teams that are curious. Like I love how they always don't tell you what team. So I think I look at the teams that need wide receiver help, and the Jets are at the top of my list.
Well, I'm sure Splash would like to see him back in a Ravens jersey. Let's get over to Splash.
Okay, I will sing some praises for Odell. I think he is for all the off the field stuff, the kicking the net back in the day, and the diva mentality, the banana boat. Or was it the banana boat? Oh, it was a cruise picture with the Giants.
Cruise right before they played the Packers in the playoffs. Yes.
Yeah. I get that. On the field, he's a professional. In the locker room, maybe not with the Dolphins, but I think he was a good asset for the 2023 Ravens. I know they paid him $15 million and he wasn't a $15 million receiver. I get that. But when you have a rookie scale, Zay Flowers, a rookie scale, Rashad Bateman, or adjusted rookie scale, that was a weird snafu, but he was a worthwhile addition to that. And I get the vision from that regard, but I'm actually going to go to a different former New York receiver. The top two on the market, at least according to Spot Rack, Amari Cooper and Gabe Davis, two former Bills. Why don't you kick the tires there? Or kick the tires on a Nelson Aguilar, kick the tires on Tyler Boyd, Brandon Powell, Jamison Crowder, another former Bill, Deontay Hardy, another former Bill, Allen Robinson, former Lion.
Jamison Crowder, former Jet as well.
Yeah.
He had a few good years on the Jets.
Yeah. So I would kick the tires on some of those players over Odell. Odell had 9 catches last season. Oof. Michael Burton, the Broncos fullback, had more catches, more yards, and more touchdowns. Just throwing that out there. So Odell is not the fish of the receiver pond I would go after. If you want a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 type, go get Amari Cooper. He was a bust in Buffalo, but he was a Pro Bowler in 2023 in Cleveland. Or Gabe Davis, who's, by the way, only 26.
And a burner.
Believe it or not.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he would be, I think he'd be a great fit as a complement to Wilson. Wilson would be that short to intermediate demon, and Davis once in a while gets deep as a 40-yard touchdown or something. So that'd be my pick. Not Odell. I'd go to a different former New York receiver.
I think at the end of the day, though, the Jets just have to go after somebody. I feel like you can't go into this season with like high expectations with Josh Reynolds being that second guy. If you want to try to convert Brees, then that's cool, but why even try to convert? I do want to stay with Odell being that guy, though, only because, like I say, like I'm like, I'm always good for a good story, but he's always just said, like, if I ever go back to MetLife, I'm going to give it like everything. I love that place. I love that city. I love being able to play for these fans. Him being back there, like even if like this is like the end of his career, that's the story right there. That's the end. He could go back there, have his last hurrah, like just give it his all for the Jets or Giants, whoever it may be, and then just go back there and be able to have that like storybook ending to his career. And I do think that there's potential interest from like New York teams to be able to bring Odell back for that reason. And of the names that you mentioned, Splash, even though like Amari Cooper is better, Odell is still the bigger name. And the way that we all know that like New York sports like kind of like revolves around names and being able to like get certain people in certain places, stuff like that. I do think that Odell is the person that would fit that vibe. I do think that he's the person that would be able to go there. And at the end of the day, it depends what you're expecting. If the Jets are trying to win 9 games, like Vijay alluded to, they need to go out and get somebody. They should know that themselves. They shouldn't be thinking about keeping their roster as is. They need to go out and get somebody, whether it's Odell, Amari, maybe even like multiple ones of them. They shouldn't try to go out and trade for like a guy on an expired rookie deal. They should try to go out and just get like a veteran presence in there, try to like help the team, because like the team for the most part is like not necessarily relatively young, but like you have some younger guys that are there that need to be able to like need to know like how to like they've been there, done that. And of the people that are there, mind you, I think that only one of them is a champion, and it's Odell that you named. If there's one champion on that list.
Good question. Notably, the Bills did not win the Super Bowl. Aguilar was on the 2017 Eagles, no, right?
I believe he was.
I think so,
right?
He
was. Yes. I believe he has a ring. The famous Nick Foles Super Bowl.
He did. Did he have a touchdown in that game? I'll look that up. You guys go ahead.
To allude what Clive was saying, I'll end on this. The new head coach in town, he's trying to build a culture. I know we throw in that word like it's candy, but the exact opposite. No offense to all you Odell Beckham truthers out there, including Kwasi. If you're trying to establish a culture, winning is part of it, which I don't think he has winning in him anymore to begin with. I think the last thing you want is an Odell Beckham in a locker room where you're trying to establish that you are the final say, final voice in the locker room. So I just think it's a big no.
That's okay. Time will tell, but they need to go out and get someone at the end of the day. And I feel like if you want the 9 wins, Vijay, then they need to get somebody.
We could just run the Wildcat to 9 wins game.
Hey, man, he's won 11 games with it.
There you go.